and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production YouTube, and welcome to the Friday review. I am reviewing the debut full-length album from Miami, Florida based heavy metal band that is Sky Destroyer from Midnight Spell, which was released both independently and through Iron Oxide Records on January 8th of this year. Iron Oxide Records, I definitely should point out, is one of Bart Gabriel's sub-labels. Again, he was the founder for Skull Records, which has plenty of great bands on there to begin with, and does some great reissues. But again, this is released through, at least physically, through his own label, other label, Iron Oxide Records. So, when it comes to Midnight Spell, my introduction to these guys was actually through their Between the Eyes EP, which was released in 2019. But for most of you who are definitely might be new to this band, let me kind of give you a little bit of a little backstory, or at least to tell you where these guys were formed. Again, I already told you where they're from. They're from Miami, Florida, and they were formed in 2017. So, again, their debut EP, or demo actually, was Between the Eyes. It was released in 2019. That's where I at least was introduced to this band, and I really liked that demo. In many ways, I almost consider it EP because of it's so better produced and better recorded compared to a lot of demos. But nowadays, demos, I guess, it can mean anything almost at this point. Still, though, it was a great release from them. So let's definitely get and see what they were able to bring to the table with their debut full-length album. So without further ado, let's get into my review of Sky Destroyer from Midnight Spell. Okay, so before I even get into my thoughts on this album, let's do a track listing rundown. We got about 9 songs here, and it all clocks in at 40 minutes and 57 seconds. So these 9 songs are Blood for Blood, Between the Eyes, Lady of the Moonlight, Midnight Ride, Mercy, the title track, Cemetery Queen, To the Stars, and Headbang Till Death. So there's your 9 songs here. Wow. Where do I really begin with this one? I mean, like I've stated, I really like their the demo Between. What was it? Yeah, I think it was titled Between the Eyes. Just wanted to recheck there on the site here on Metal Archives. But I really like that. That was some great stuff on there. Of course, while it was 3 original songs and 1 cover, which was actually a cover of Berlin from the new wave of British heavy metal band Savage, which was taken off their debut album Loose and Lethal, which was originally released in 1983, and they did a pretty good cover of it. But the 3 original songs that they provided on that demo, it's kind of, I don't know if I really want to consider it a demo, but it's an I almost consider it more of an EP just because of that. But again, the band, it's probably better to just call it a demo. Still, though, it was a great release, and I just couldn't wait to at least hear what they were able to bring with the full-length album. And here we are, and let's just, you know what, to really kind of briefly run through it. Great musicianship, great constructions, great vocals from Paulo Velasquez, who's a great fucking singer. But there's, again, great leads, great hooks. Everything you want on a metal album is all here. So that's only a brief way of telling you what you're kind of getting with this album and how I feel towards it. But to give you a better feel, let's run through the songs themselves. I'm not going to run through highlights. I'm going to talk about every single song on here. So without further ado, let's talk about some of these songs. I mean, it opens up with Blood for Blood. And again, this song right here is fucking great. It opens up the album on a hot note because it's fiery. It's got a lot of conviction to this song. It's fast. It's got, again, very Priest-like, but I wouldn't say this is a Judas Priest clone, but it just has, I feel like, very like rapid fire. Just the way how that album kind of opens up, or even at times like Battering Ram from Saxon. It just starts off hot and heavy and fast. Great, plenty of tempos on here. Again, killer guitar solos and great vocals. This is just a good song all around. Again, it's just tight. So this is a great way to open up the album. Following it is, well, Between the Eyes, which is taken from their from the demo. And again, it was one of the best songs off that demo anyways. I mean, it was titled after this track. But, I mean, the one thing I should definitely say is, like, after Blood for Blood, this song right here, again, Between the Eyes, it does bring the album to more of a mid-paced level, because if you're never were familiar with this song, it does have a mid-paced feel to it. It's more of a rocker, but it's a good song. It is very good. It's a hard rocker in the vein of classic Y&T, especially when it comes to Paulo Velasquez, who at times reminds me a little bit of Dave Meniketti. He's got that kind of swag to his vocals. He's, again, some of those great vocal melodies. It does have that feel. It could have easily been on, like, for example, either Black Tiger or Mean Streak. Just a good song, but I really like it. But I wouldn't say it's a Y&T clone, but it just has that similar feel and that similar ingredients that made some of those classic Y&T songs so great, and they're able to really pull it off here, and it's a good song. Does great. Following after this, though, is Lady in the Moonlight, which, again, it continues the mid-paced tempo, but it's much more of a hookier, more catchy, I guess, kind of relying on more catchier stuff, but it's more, again, it's more melodic hard rock in its attack. That, again, it suits the voice of Paulo Velasquez. He's got a great voice. This song does a good job of elevating a lot of him. It's geared towards guys like this, like Paulo Velasquez. So it's a good song nonetheless. Again, Between the Eyes is more of a hard, heavy rocker, whereas Lady in the Moonlight is more of your typical melodic, very, again, guitar melodies and so on. It's just great. Great song nonetheless. Coming next is Midnight Ride, which, again, it dials up the intensity here again. It's a full throttle speed metal track with hooks and soaring vocals. It's a good song, so that's all I gotta say there. Next up is Mercy, which is the album's only instrumental, and it's killer. Oh my god, it's a heavy song too. It's got plenty of different tempos. It's not always the same tempo through it. It's a badass instrumental. That's all I gotta say, so enough said there. Let's move on to the title track here, and it just comes storming in with sheer blistering power. It's fantastic. It's just a good song, so let's definitely move on from there to the very next song, which is Cemetery Queen, and it's also the longest song on the album. Because it compared to most of the songs here, most of them were either 4 minutes or 5 minutes. This one clocks in at 6 minutes and 13 seconds. But it is very heavy, dark, and has a mood of all of its own. It is a very good track, though. I really do like this song a lot. They do great with it, so it's a good song. From there on out, let's get into the next track, which is To the Stars. And this one, again, it's kind of similar to something like Lady in the Moonlight in some cases, though this one a little slower. Again, more mid-paced, but a bit more of a slower mid-paced almost kind of tempo here. But it's a good track. Again, it's got hooks, vocal melodies, and tight guitar solo, which most of the songs here have a lot of tight guitar solos. But again, it's a good song nonetheless, and again, nothing bad I can say about this one. I really do enjoy this track. So let's definitely finally move on to Headbang Till Death, which, again, this song right here, it ends the album on a bang. Starts off mid-paced, like a great classic track from like either Judas Priest, for example, like maybe Rock Forever off of Killing Machine / Hellbent for Leather, or even just a classic Saxon song like either like Hungry Years or a Strong Arm of the Law kind of track, before switching gears to an all-out blistering assault. And that's where we end the album. And so there you go. Again, it's always good to write your notes down. It's always good to write them down, because I was able to just fly through this. And goddamn, this is where we end things. This is where the review ends, and where I finally give my score. And what's my score? It's a freaking 10. First 10 out of 10 for 2021. Oh my god, this is such a good album. You know, I thought the demo that they had released was great, and I thought that it definitely showed a lot of great potential, but they knocked it out of the park with their debut full-length album. This is what debut full-length albums should be. Sometimes I know the debut album should always be used as a way to kind of give the listener a good taste of what you're able to at least do. But with debut albums like this is what actually shows you truly how good you truly are. And I think this is a great album from these guys. Again, for a full-length album, this is just up there. This is a great traditional heavy metal album. We have plenty of great riffs, a lot of ripping guitar solos, great vocal melodies. All of the ingredients that should make a great heavy metal album are here. They definitely show that young bands can make great top-notch heavy metal albums, and it's not always the veterans. And this is a great album. Easily, if this album is not in my top 10 list, or even at times in my top 5, then I don't know, or if anybody else's. I really recommend this album. If this is an album you definitely seem interested in, go out. Actually, I shouldn't have been saying that. Go out and check this album out. I'm going to leave you a link to their Bandcamp page where you can at least also buy this physically. These guys need fucking support. This is a great album from them. They definitely made a great debut album, and to kick 2021 off, this is a great way to kick off the new year. Just a solid album. I recommend checking this album out, and I hope you guys are able to like this as much as I did. This is a great album. So with that, I hope all of you enjoyed. This is for Thrasher Sam out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.